And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Welcome to episode 172.
Not
Yay!
173.
Is it 170? Oh, wait. Is it 173? I don't know. It's been a while.
If I have to
2
bet
weeks.
money, I'm putting money on Kathy's answer.
That's like her thing. She's like memorized this stuff. She's like a human calculator. Just 173.
That's the only time you'll ever hear somebody describe me that way.
It is actually 173. We've been gone for a week due to personal reasons, but we're back. And today we're going to talk about some Age of Sigmar news and rants. We're going to talk about some models. And I'm going to do some painting once we get all started. But before that, let's go and get our business out of the way. We're going to thank Muson Minis for hosting all of our feeds and putting us out there for everybody to see and hear us. Also, don't forget, if you buy anything from their store, type in More Than Dice, all one word, and you'll get 10% off your order. We are a creature creator. Kathy will eventually be getting into her Scissoring of Desire again.
Not eventually. It will be as soon as I'm done with these 4 models that I am painting right now.
Okay.
There you go.
I will be finishing off the scissoring after that, as you all are my witnesses.
We want to also thank Tectonic Crest Studios, of course, for being awesome and doing stuff. I talked to Dan not too long ago. He's going to be making some new product coming out. And don't forget, you can follow him on Twitch also to see him doing some stuff. Did I forget anybody? I think that's it.
Lynn, Metalhead Minis?
Oh, Metalhead Minis, Lynn Stahl. Yeah, she still sells some of our products. She's also getting a lot of stuff ready for Warfare Weekend. We've got all our painting classes lined up. We've got some really cool stuff lined up for that. So, yeah, should be... go over and check her out, and you can also... should be a link to our store where you can purchase some of our products and dice and stuff like that. And... see all the stuff that's happening there. I think that's it then.
Yeah.
Yes. Got everything out of there. So we got any tributes this week, by the way?
I never can keep track, honestly.
I
I'm
don't,
terrible at that.
I really don't recall any, which either means I'm a horrible person or it was a slow week.
Well,
Really?
both.
we can do a salute. We can salute to all the people that have gotten their vaccines.
Also, I mean, there was one. Did we salute Patrick?
I don't think we did because that was before.
Yeah, that was like before the one before this, yeah.
Yeah. There was a member of the community, Patrick. He passed away, and they did a memorial for him just not too long ago. It's also a reason why we tell everybody to get their vaccine. Go get protected. And so we want to give a salute out to everybody that is getting the vaccine, has got the vaccine, and is looking out not only for themselves, but for others. That's very important to us. But before we give that big salute out, John, what are you drinking tonight?
Dr. Pepper and Fireball.
Interesting. Kathy?
Gin and tonic.
The Old Faithful. I'm going to go with another Winter Grind Coffee Stout. I'm only drinking beer pretty much on the podcast now because, like John, I want to lose some weight and get a little bit healthier, and I got to make sure I keep my calories down on that.
So you're drinking beer?
Limiting how much I can, how much I drink.
The owl cookie diet is not something that I would recommend unless it's the day after you got your second COVID shot.
Kathy, a wise man once said, "C is for cookie," and that's good enough for me.
So to everybody out there, please be safe. Wash your hands, wear your mask, get your vaccine. We want to see and party with you later. Cheers.
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 Acid Burn Punk, I do have a bunch of that too, but I was like, I want to get a beer out.
I mean,
It's fine.
we all make poor life choices sometimes.
Yeah.
That's true.
I make a lot of them, so it's okay. I even it out by doing good things every once in a while.
But hey, all three of us now
Yes,
Yep.
fully
put a
vaccinated.
Oh yeah, well, basically a week and a half for me.
Technically,
yeah.
well, yeah.
You got your shot.
Yes. I have a
I
buddy
Now
actually
all it
showing up in
is like
town
in an
on
extra week.
on day 14. I have a buddy who will be in town. We're going to dinner.
if
That was random. That's the day he's coming in. I was going to dinner regardless. But
you've
he'll
gotten
be
your
back.
shot, just put a big out there. We want to cheer you too. We appreciate it. We want to see everybody. So if you're vaccinated, you can go ahead
That's
and
right.
just shout out.
Missionary shots. Everybody! I mean, I'd do a shot for everyone that has a shot, but I have to work tomorrow, and that would be a poor life choice.
That
I-
would be very poor life choice.
I did see an article and read an article like yesterday about the vaccine, not the vaccine, but the people getting sent to the hospital for COVID. And they said the most common factor of the people that are getting hospitalized with COVID are people that are unvaccinated. What?
Look, I don't know, man.
So it's working. Guys, please protect yourself still. Even though if you get your vaccine, still protect yourself. I went to Walmart this week to go pick up some small lights for a project I'm working on, some Marvel terrain. And I was one of probably 3 people in Walmart that had a mask on still.
Yep.
So
Remember, a couple weeks ago, people were putting gasoline into trash bags. They're not going to make smart life choices. Make the smart ones you can to help everyone.
yeah. I mean, I'm fully vaccinated, but like I said, I don't trust the motherfucker. So
I
Yeah.
just would never want to be the reason someone else caught it because, like, I'm vaccinated. I don't know I have it because I'm vaccinated, and someone else
Right.
gets. I couldn't handle that.
no.
How
That,
could someone
and that's
handle
it.
that?
I look out for my fellow human. So
Okay, if I die for my own stupid fault, but if someone else dies for my stupid fault, fuck.
yeah, that was one of my when I got it back in November. My first thing was my kids. I'm
Yeah.
like, because my kids don't have personal boundaries. They climb all over me, they get up in me, they snot on me, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I've got it. What are my kids? And luckily, none of my kids got it that I teach. So I was like really, really relieved on that. And nobody in my staff got it either, too. That was good. So, other than that. So, John, I hear you have some really interesting news for us on Age of Sigmar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, reasonably interesting. It's more about the starter box set Dominion, I think it's called.
Yeah, which is Orcs and
Yeah, the new Oryx and Stormcast.
Stormcast.
Well, that box set's gonna be a limited release. Yep. GW, they're just like
Limited by how
release.
many?
Don't know. The way Jay from Discount Games Inc. Made it sound is significantly reduced. So he's not gonna be able to get a ton of copies. The guy I'm getting mine from, Mini Stomp, he's not sure how many copies to get. Right now, he's not worried. I did tell him to put me on the last man in list, so if someone else needs it and he's only got 1 copy, it goes to the person, not to me. I have a Games Workshop store right up the street. I could theoretically just go in there, brave the wilds of a Games Workshop store, and just get a copy myself. So it's a poor decision that they're making with a lot of box sets, and
Dude,
they're fucking around, and they're going to find out because they lost money because they didn't put any more Cursed City. I didn't get one. Fuck them. I ain't going to go out looking for one now. I'm not going to support the secondary market for it because they're putting up too much. And I'm not going to walk into their store, which would probably cause me to buy other stuff because you know how I am, but because they're just being stupid about it. I thought we were past this whole limited box set bullshit, but apparently they're hell
are
bent
they
on.
doing this because they've been having a problem with getting rid of surplus starter boxes of stuff in the past? I don't understand why they're deciding to do this. It's
Don't know.
not like they're collectors.
Well, they're not the only
items.
ones doing stupid shit like this. There are a lot of bigger companies. Hasbro's doing stupid shit like this. I mean, as we talked about way back when, Hero Quest was a limited release thing they were doing.
Yep.
And then also with some of their toys, they're like, oh, hey, look, we're announcing this cool toy. Yeah, it's sold out within an hour. Literally, it came up like, I want to say Thursday or something. They dropped it at, it was an hour and a half, 2 something. I'm checking it while I'm sitting there waiting for my, 15-minute waiting period for my COVID shot. And it's sold out. I'm like ordering on my phone and it's sold out within an hour and a half.
And it's not like it's something where they're making a certain amount and they want people to pre-order it and then they plan to make it more of it later.
Well, they will, but they make a lesser version of it. Like, luckily, I found it online. I'll give a shout out because they had it. Big Bad Toy Store. One of the YouTube channels I follow, mostly for Transformers, not G.I. Joe, as funny as that is, gets his stuff from there and hypes them up. I don't know if he's actually sponsored, but he gets most of his stuff there. I checked. They had it, so I was super happy, because it's Snake Eyes with Timber. Because the only thing better than having regular Snake Eyes is Snake Eyes with his pet wolf, because that's badass.
Bet that the pet wolf is going to be...
Yes.
Bet that the wolf's going to be in the movie?
No, shouldn't be in the movie.
Okay.
Snake Eyes is the origin story, and I'm still 50-50 on whether this movie is going to be terrible or good. I mean, so the first G.I. Joe movie, it's okay. It's got some good parts. It's got some bad parts. The second one, much better, but didn't hit well enough.
Yeah.
In fact, the only bad part in the second one is Bruce Willis. It's a powerful statement, but I'm standing by it. He's the worst part of that movie. But, we'll see. But I'm very disappointed by big companies making limited shit. The next thing you know, you're going to have... I mean, well, also they did, they're doing Warhammer Plus for GW, which might have limited models available through it. Like, yeah, fuck you. You guys are going back down that path you went back years ago. I can eject just as quickly. You know what?
I wouldn't have a problem.
I don't even need to sell my stuff. I could just be like, fuck it, I don't care. Hey, kid, here's some Death Watch. Enjoy.
The one thing that was interesting is I don't mind if they have limited sculpts, but limited model with special rules is an issue.
That's a whole different thing, yeah.
Yeah, because like Privateer Press has their mini crate models, which are just...
Which is the right way to do it. I mean...
Yeah, just alternate sculpts. I don't say that
about Privateer Press too often.
Yeah, alternate sculpts, same rules. Mm-hmm. GW is going the way of new model, limited release, new rules, and you can only get, luckily, maybe five in a store.
Well, plus they have all those birthday models only available at the GW store nearby. I mean, there's not a lot of GW stores around the world. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And then, like, they had that Catachin Sergeant with the Power Fist and all. It was super awesome. Like, that guy's great. With that and a couple of other characters they put out, I could make a Catachin army. I'm like, nope. They gave it away some limited way, and then it cost me $100 to get it. Fuck that.
Yeah, because the resales on them is pretty high.
Oh, that's cool, Acid Bird Punk. Those are cool models. I mean, I wish they... In the past, you could do that because the resale market wasn't what it was. It was people just bought one like, oh, I got two because I was able to get two. I paid $25. Why don't you pay me like $35 for it? Okay, cool. Now it's like, oh no, that's going for, $100 in the secondary market, so I want $110. All right. You ain't getting it for me. Someone did that with the Transformers TCG. They had the San Diego Comic-Con packs. I'm like, oh, cool. Two of them. I can get one for myself and one for my buddy as a birthday present. And then they're like, oh, I didn't realize what they were worth. So after you've already won the auction and paid for it, I'm going to ask you for a lot more money. And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Go fuck yourself. Eat a strike on eBay and give them my money back.
Yeah. So that's why I don't understand that. And Kathy, I was thinking about what you said. Is it like... Are they afraid they're not going to sell it, or is like plastic a problem, or is... I've never seen a starter box left out. A massive amount of starter boxes left out.
Well, it's also for a release. There's no reason to have a limited starter box for a release. You want
Correct.
People to get into new armies.
That's why it's called the starter box, so that people can get into the game for the first time and they have something to start with.
Correct.
I mean, that's always how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Maybe they're just like, oh, we only want to spend X amount of dollars on this, so we can get X amount of dollars back, and so we're only going to do X amount of product. I don't understand that.
That
So
doesn't grow the game, though.
no, it
They
doesn't.
don't need to grow the
That
game
just,
anymore. They've got their passive audience.
all that does is open it up for the people who already know about it, the people who get the newsletter and stuff, not new people, who are just discovering the game.
Yeah, it's it's terrible to see how it plays out. It might not be as limited as they're saying, but because the mini stomp did not think he was gonna have a problem getting enough copies for everyone who asked for a pre-order, myself included. But Jay from Discount Games sounded a lot more like it might be a problem.
I'll have to ask Carl because like metagames, they always have they'll get 50, 60 copies, type thing because they're always everybody buys it. And if they can't, it's going to be interesting because you want to sell that not only because the stores want to sell it and make a profit, make some money on it, but it always sells. I don't think I've ever seen a starter set, a GW starter set, not sell like that big, especially with new rules.
And new models that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering about.
The only one that might have is Assault on Black Reach way back in the way for 40K. Only sold as many as it is because it had that full version of the rule book that was digest sized.
Mm-hmm.
The models people were just impressed with because it was the first foray back to
that was snapped together, right?
Yeah, snapped together simple models from fully posable Space Marines and Orcs. Everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know about those models."
I remember those. Those were great.
Well, also it had the Def Copters, which you couldn't get anywhere else, and I don't think I have anymore, but I had like a lot. Because when we had to throw stuff out before we moved, we had a bunch of sets of Black Reach that we had kept because people needed this part or that part. We're not going to send them a whole new Black Reach for a part. We sent them the part they needed. Mm-hmm. It's funny how once that word got around, the correction orders for Black Reach went down a ton.
I don't know. I mean, GW is riding on a high right now. They're, number one. Everybody buys all their stuff. They did amazing during the pandemic, type thing. And I don't understand limiting that.
No. If there's a reason they don't have anyone in public relations to tell people, and I mean, the stores don't want to push people off of GW because those guys spend money. Yeah. So there's no reason for them to shit talk GW. It's the online guys that GW has been fighting with for decades now, that are since the advent of online, that are the only ones that they that speak up against it. So there you go. You got Age of Sigmar 3rd Edition, which may be improved, but still has double turn, so it's not going to be that good. And then limited box set. Good luck.
Kathy, you did have some cool news, and we had this individual on our show to talk about his new game, and they're actually supposedly doing something really cool for Warfare Weekend, and it's orcs. I'm going to go and put the link up, one of the links to the model. You were talking about the new Conquest orcs.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to show these off because these are actually really interesting. Now, Conquest we had on here, and I'm going to do the Raptor Riders also because they're legit.
The Raptor Riders are magnificent.
So Conquest is a really cool game. John was on here when we did that because we were talking about rules and such with it. Mm-hmm. And I like it. I think it's a great game. The miniatures are amazing because they're actually much larger scale than a lot of things out there. They're really good models too.
What are they? Are they 54 millimeter? Or are they somewhere?
38.
They're
38 millimeter.
38. Okay.
They're very beefy. Models.
I see. Scale 38 millimeter. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very beefy.
No, they are. They're cool. I very much like what there is. It's actually been in my local store too, so I just gotta hope somebody starts picking it up and playing it. But it'll be tough. But I still got all the stuff around here.
I've played demos of it at conventions, and it's a fun game. And now they have orcs. They call them the Wardrune, and I'm looking at the Scion of Conquest right now. I absolutely love the look of these orcs.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this is the ones that I would play.
Yeah, they're really legit looking. They're big and beefy like you would expect orcs to be, but they got this jungle type theme to them, which, with all the big feathers and everything, and they're really, really cool looking. I really like the way they look. Um, they don't have this is their newest army that they released, so they don't have a lot out for them right now. But in the introduction video, there was a T-Rex behind them, so I wouldn't be surprised if their monstrosity was a giant T-Rex type thing.
And let's be honest, dinosaurs.
Yeah, orcs and dinosaurs.
Surprisingly, I actually really like their humans.
Oh, their humans are really
yeah,
good too.
They're really good too.
All
their models are
that
good.
Itch of what you want to paint for, like old school Empire, just not as.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the word.
That's what I was thinking. They have like spear regiments and archers and
yeah. I mean,
they have cavalry, lancers.
Yeah, and the guys look cool in it. I mean, they've got all the standard stuff, militia and bowmen. I mean, it's really kind of cool.
Yeah, their factions are really, really good. The orcs are very orky but jungled theme. Their humans are very like Empire.
Empire, but not as Germanic.
Yeah.
And the aliens are just
the spires
are just weird.
I love the spires.
Completely alien. I like those too.
Vat grown, because they're grown as clones. Their Nords are really good too, which are their barbarian type race.
I had not seen those yet.
They're very good.
We interviewed them. I think they were on the horizon.
Yeah, they were just coming out whenever we interviewed them. They're really good. They're very barbaric looking.
They have trolls,
Viking.
but it looks like small trolls.
Yeah, they're like the squat trolls or whatever.
Or like Shadowrun trolls, not like trolls.
Oh yeah, not monstrous.
That's cool.
And then their dwarf faction is pretty good too. They've got some really good models. I have to say,
I love that they're selling watercolor paints with them. Like for $15, you can get these 4 paints that are the paints that they've used in their color scheme, as far as I can tell. Or I'm just looking at it right now.
More people need to do that because people want that.
Well, I know they did something with Turbo Dork.
There's more than 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6. So metallic lead, warm gray, ochre, brown shade, olive turquoise.
Like their wave stuff is great because they got paints in there too.
Yeah, like this one, like there's this dwarven one as Inferno, and it's like a metal golem, and they use Turbo Dork Turbo Shift paints, and you get the 5 paints plus the model.
Kind of a paintbrush even. That's smart. You get like 5 or 6 paints. Yeah, so it's their 100 Kingdoms Wave 2 start playing. Has a bunch of models with the stands and a commander and all the command cards, and some dice, which is always good to add dice in there.
Yeah.
Then 6 paints and a size 0 brush.
Well, they also got their new skirmish small size game coming out, or not coming out. It is out, and it's like their First Blood type thing.
I'm slightly interested in that, but actually the one I was most interested in, surprisingly, is Mantix. I had the book around here. I hadn't a chance to really peruse it, but it looked really cool. And, I mean, we'll talk about Mantic again in a little bit. The Mantic one, I forget. You make me find the book? It's around here somewhere.
Oh, they're...
Well, it was like half price. I'm like, I'm not going to not buy a skirmish level book for half price.
I can't remember what it's called, but I know what you're saying.
Shelf I put it on because it's been a while because, hey, pandemic. Sorry. Let me check here. Mantic Games. We'll talk about them again in a minute or two when we talk about Train.
But yeah, I saw those and I thought I totally forgot to tell you that because I saw it and I was like, oh yeah.
Vanguard, Kings of War Vanguards were the called.
Oh yeah.
And they have like some really good models they put out for it. And the book was pretty good. Like it was a high quality. It was like it's more like a digest size, maybe a little bigger than that, but it's cool. I mean, like honestly, I like the idea of Kings of War. I just don't like the game because it's too
Simple?
It reminds you of old. Yeah, it's too simple. It reminds you of old fantasy without all the good stuff like magic items and shit. I hate to say it. I mean, it's kind of rude, but what am I worried about? I'm about to be rude to them all over the place. What?
Yeah, I really like the one thing I like about Conquest is the models are top notch.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good. They're big and beefy models, and they look really cool. And I was like, oh yeah, this is super legit. So I thought these were really good. I still have my spires. I did paint up one of them. Um, the brute drones. I painted one of them up and used the contrast paint because that's when the contrast paints were just coming out.
Yeah, and those are
And
creepy too.
yeah, the spire stuff is really really good. I really like them. That's one I would play if we could get enough people to do
I
it.
like the story behind them.
Yeah, they're really good. I wish more people got into other games like this. Try to get them. So other than that, John, I am printing a bunch of terrain off. I don't know if anybody's on my Facebook page. I've been printing a ton of terrain. So I've been doing a lot of stuff for our 40K event and just getting extra terrain because we got to get 32 tables worth of terrain. Um, and you came, and of course I'm getting Marvel terrain, and so I'm printing that up. And John just crashed. Oh, there
No.
he goes. Oh, you're bringing it. Okay, I thought you crashed. And so you sent this out and you sent it to us and you're about to go off on it. And so I was kind of curious because it's actually a really decent price.
It is a
So
very good price. That is not one of the complaints I have with it. So let me just turn on some extra lights. You might not make
Yeah.
it bigger if you can, because I got it all set up here on my other cam, but it looks like not much is showing up on the screen.
let me put your. I will put your camera forward. All right. Since you're gonna be showing something. All right. Gotcha.
All right,
All right.
so this is the Walking Dead All Out War Scenery Game Booster. I saw it on Amazon when I was looking for stuff. It looked pretty cool. 2 trucks, wrecked 2 cars, some fences, and some fiddly bits. Seems great, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't expensive either. Like,
No. The problem is, it's very, very. I mean, so that's not really a problem that they're hollow inside. Whatever.
yeah.
But they're very bendy. That bendy plastic, and you don't notice initially, but when you start looking, these mold lines are terrible. Which on the car, which is mostly smooth, is no big deal. Though it's already a little bit off, so I'm going to need to get them in the heat and bend them back. 2 cars, good. I like the wreck thing. They're a little bit smaller for comparison purposes. There's a Marvel Crystal car. There is their car. So it's a little smaller because it's supposed
Not
to be
too bad though.
No, not too bad. It's actually more close to. Hold on. I got another third-party set over here. So this third-party set has got cars that are closer. It's a lot closer to this stuff than to the Marvel stuff. So it is at least in the ballpark.
Yeah, and it's not a huge difference.
But now again, this has just been sitting around, and apparently it's already malformed enough that it doesn't sit flat. You can fix this pretty easy, but this material is a problem. If you look, you got some mold.
Go to your right a little bit. Couldn't see it.
Oh. So the mold lines, you can just see how it's bent. So that's just going to be a heat up problem. But not a big deal. But then you get to the pickup trucks. That was when I was working on more. So on the top here, you can see this piece is separate. You glue it in. No big deal. Glues in pretty well. Actually has these 2 things. You don't have to glue it. It will fit in there. But you can see on the windows, hopefully, where they came off the. I had something to point with.
Sprue.
Well, I don't know what it is actually.
You're about the little circles.
Yep, little circles. And they're indented, so you can't just shave them off. So that's a minor problem. And then you can see here where I've been trying to clean it up. None of your normal cleaning techniques are going to work well because of the material. If you try and shave this, it it shaves, but it ends up with this rough edge that looks terrible.
Yeah,
Not
that's
sure
the
it's going to look
same
good after.
with Bones material.
Yep.
I can't clean mold lines off of it, so
Well, you can, but you have to cut them off, and you have to be really careful. And this thing's
yeah.
got a lot of mold lines. I mean, you see, I tried some stuff here. Actually, on the second one, I even tried a bunch of various Dremel tools on it before I put it together. Varying degrees of success. I'm not sure how it's going to look after priming and everything. So, it's cheap, but it's cheap.
Cheap like Green Army Man cheap?
I mean, I don't remember how much this box set was, but it was not expensive. See, like, it shaves off pretty well,
I think
but
it was like
that's a lot of work for something like this, where literally, if you were scraping, it would take you a quarter of the time, but you can't do that because of the material. What worries me is they do terrain crate as like one of their things. If the terrain is like this, I'm really glad I didn't get it because the price is good, but the quality is not there.
What about the other pieces, like the barricades and all that stuff in there?
Barricades, they don't really bend, so pretty good. These stuff, like I didn't see a lot of mold lines on this. They're a lot simpler. The truck was the biggest mold line problem, a little bit in the car, because it's got a lot of edges and stuff. You know, where the mirrors are, it gets a little rough. The back was a little rough. It's going to take a bit of work to get done. But I also may not be the best person to look at this, since rumor has it I'm a little extra on the terrain bits. Hashtag still painting that fucking fuel truck. Well, look, actually, technically it's done. I just need to seal it. I'll seal the sides.
Because you want it to be pretty doesn't mean you're extra.
Look at that. Actually painted the explosive symbol on there.
I love it. I love it.
No, I mean, it's cool. I bet. Yeah, so this bit's, like, no complaints. These are pretty good. Like, even this one is a bit hollow. Feels stable. It's just the cars. They could have used some sort of support inside to keep them from bending. In fact, this might be one, if you've got that foam you can spray in, might be worth getting it in the right shape, spraying the foam in, just to keep it in that shape, just in case. But so it's got, it's like a couple different walls. I think it's boom, boom, three different types of walls, 2 of each. You know, this one just looks like little barricades and stuff. You know, the kind of stuff you'd see in the country. So it gave me the idea I want to make a country themed table. They've actually got some stuff on their website. Like, I'm not saying don't buy this stuff, because honestly, the price is right.
Yeah, it was $30 on their website is what I went and looked it up.
$30 is not bad for this kind of terrain. 4 vehicles, 6 fences, and then all this little scatter terrain stuff. It's hollow too, but again, it's pretty solid. It doesn't look really too hard to clean up. Most of the stuff on the bottom. This one's gonna be a little rough just because it's got bits hanging off the bottom, but it should still be relatively easy. And it's got a good theme if you like that theme. If you want to play on, like, it'll even work for like a GW board if you're like, oh, we're defending some, you know, outpost world that technology not so much. So yeah, I mean, it's got a good terrain. I mean,
some of it could easily be orky terrain too.
I mean, it's got a good amount of terrain. This is all $30 a terrain. So, like, no complaints about the quantity, and the quality a little bit. This stuff all perfectly fine. These two, little bendy. This one's going to take a lot of work. This one, a little less so. But, I mean, look at that. Come on. Like, I know it's cheap, but, like, literally 3 supports in this would have made all the difference.
Yeah,
and they could have just even been up here, and like a couple through here would have been great. So I'll have to bend those back. Luckily, I bought a hairdryer for this, that sort of thing. And then the trucks are a bit more stable. And then you put the piece in here, but the mold lines in them is a little much. And then I was not really a fan of these little circles in the windows. So you could probably clean them off. I'd actually suggest green stuff, liquid green stuff, if you still have that, squadron putty. Just a little bit, just smooth it out however you can. Like I said, anything I tried with a Dremel would either do nothing at all or way too fucking much. So there you go. There's your...
So not bad, just a little subpar on the vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, for the price, not horrific. Overall, I would not say it's an excessive bargain. I would say you are getting what you pay for. I don't really think you're getting much more, but you're definitely not getting less. I mean, having bought a bunch of stuff. I mean, the other set I had, I don't know, did I show that off?
No.
Oh, let's not turn that off then. Hold on.
You can flip it back over.
Luckily. So this is third-party Marvel superhero stuff. Now this is all hollow inside, but they got a bottom on it. And it's all, let's hold it there where you guys can see it.
Yeah.
It's all based off of what they made, but a little different. This is the same basic bit as the Daily Bugle. I wanted to call it Daily Planet, wrong game system. The Daily Bugle, but they put a pizza sign here that's smaller and made it look like a pizza window, so it looks distinctly different. And then they have a second one where the whole thing's different for their newsstand, or the doors over here and all. So I mean, they did some stuff, extra bits, bricks underneath there, make it look like it's in a rough neighborhood. Then dumpsters, 2 of these, just dumpsters. They're cool. Again, based off what they put in the Marvel Crisis Protocol box. And then other standard stuff. They got stoplights and light poles, just like in the Marvel stuff, just distinctly different. And then, one of the mirrors came off this car. That's no bueno. It'll be okay.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's in a rough neighborhood.
And then the cars, which I like the way they look. But they're all obviously 3D printed. There's a lot of,
They're resin printed.
Yeah, but they were smart. Not only do they advertise their stuff, hey, we 3D printed this stuff. This is what you should use to prime it.
Gotcha.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Banyan lives. Hi, Banyan. So it tells you no primer painted, you can see the texture, but if you primed and painted with they say Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 filler and sandable primer.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Marshall says that engine primer will also work if you have that. In case you're
it's thick primer.
Yeah, so they're cool. I'm very pleased with them. Oh, actually, I think that mirror might be a weak point since both cars looks like they've lost that mirror. Honestly, it might be something to just take off all the cars just because why fuck around with it, right? In fact, I probably will, but...
How much was that set? Do you remember?
You're going to make me look for it. I bought it a while ago. It took so long to get there that both myself and the company gave up on it. So they sent me one by UPS because mail took forever, and then the mail one showed up. So I have 2 sets. I'm going to give the extra set to my buddy Marshall for... just so he has more terrain since he's our main source of play. Give me a second, at least set my camera back up so Gonzo can go back to normal. Face? Wrong face. Sorry. Oh, you guys can't tell until I say, boom. There you go, correct face. All right. Let me find you a price. I want to say it was in the ballpark of 50.
That's not bad.
Oh, again, not bad. It's one of them where I'm like, I don't want to say you're not getting what you paid for, but you're not getting a lot more than what you paid for.
Well, the buildings, do they feel like they glued those buildings together, or was it one solid print?
Solid piece. Actually, it's $40. Sorry.
Was it done with resin or FDM?
Feels like probably resin. See if it says under the description here. 3D printed, it says plastic, but that resin's a plastic. But no, like I said, quality, solid, understandable because it's a 3D print. They don't even pretend to say it's not 3D printed. The description's Metro City set 3D printed tabletop RPG scenery and wargame terrain for 40mm miniatures. Like, they totally sell it the way
and the thing is that terrain, that package is equivalent of 1 table's worth of Marvel terrain.
False. I wouldn't do a table with just that.
But you can, that's the thing. That is I'm gonna put this in there. You and I would rather have a full table terrain, but the terrain that they give in the starter box is what they
It's
say
not
is a a standard size game, and I'm like, it needs more because there's too
no,
many open fields.
anything they play is played with more terrain than that. It is not
Yeah,
true.
yeah, that's what they are saying. And I'm like, it needs a little bit more terrain.
Yeah, but they do other stuff too if you're looking for it. I mean, you can just click, you can find it. If anyone wants, message me. I'll send you the link for it. Um, I don't want to just post it willy nilly in here, but if you want it, let me know. I'll send it. Like I just looking through it here, and they have like a Citadel set, which is cool because it looks like it'll fit well with the WizKids Pathfinder Battles Cemetery one that I've got 2 sets of for Malifaux. You know, adding some bits there, and this is where 3D printing, to get on a alt topic, is great because you can get little bits of terrain and all.
Oh, that's one of the main reasons why I got my Ender 3 was to make terrain. I mean, the FDM on that is great for making terrain pieces. I mean, I can make really big pieces and decent small pieces. I'm not gonna make like I'm gonna put a picture up on my Facebook page of where I did a FDM print of uh, something I got from a company. They gave me the STLs for use for Warfare Weekend, and then I'm going to put up the one that they sent me, that their production, the FDM, and then a resin copy, and show all different. Because the one that they sent me was from a mold. The one the FDM is, it has all the lines on it, like a normal FDM printer would, and then the resin, you can't tell.
Oh, oh shit! I'll get that in a second. Remind me, Gonzo, I have a STL for crew for the Rebel 1.4 FD laser. If people don't want Hoth crew, I've got something you can print for them. That'll be alternate crew.
Oh, cool.
I bought it for my own dudes. Also, I remember this coming up, but it hadn't happened yet. Ned Beatty just passed.
I just got that on my phone too.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was
Yeah,
83.
I'd heard that he was sick from some people this week, but I always hope. Ned Beatty. Cheers.
Cheers.
A very underrated and diverse actor. He's been in a ton of things.
But
So there's my terrain thing. I mean, actually, I'm not going to show this through the small camera, but I don't remember if I showed everywhere on this, but I will.
oh yeah,
This is what you can do with 3D printing too.
yeah.
It's the
That
Sanctum
is so
Sanctorum.
cool.
Yeah. This is going to be the centerpiece of my main board because, I mean, it's huge. We got a building they can't throw. It'll be a good way to set everything up. I did finally get my mat in, so Beanie and I can start playing whenever we want. Get some more buildings. This guy who makes it on Etsy actually has a bunch of stuff. So, again, if anyone wants that link, let me know, and I'll send that link to them too.
Yeah, that looks like the building Corvus terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who print it. That's a very good quality. I actually feel like you could prime that without the fillable primer, and it would look good.
Yeah, usually like the Corvus terrain, because I have a huge box of what I use for my Marvel, and it's like building heavy, which you could possibly use for maybe 2.5, maybe 3 tables. And I got the police station, which is like that. It's 2 side buildings and then 1 building in the center, and the center is like 3 pieces tall, and the side buildings are 2 pieces tall,
Yep.
2 stories, and they're huge.
They got so many cool things. Like my buddy Petey, when we ordered together, he got Flynn's Arcade from
That's
Tron,
cool.
the corner building. It's great. Like,
Yeah.
like some of those, like, how do I not buy those? I just can't go all in at once. I think honestly, we're gonna end up with 3 tables worth, maybe 2 if I'm a little, because I want to make I'm committed to making the country table and looking at Mantic Games. Like, again, no. I have complaints about this, but it's not about the price or anything. It's still good for the price. Good. They have like a barn and some sort of rural style houses and all that you can get, and that'll be really cool. So I'm not sure we should allow the Hulk to throw houses. But I mean, it's the Hulk. If he wants to throw a house, who's going to stop him?
Maybe an outhouse.
Well, I mean, honestly, an outhouse a lot of people can throw. I think Spider-Man be flinging outhouses like that shit's going out of style.
Yeah, that's at least a size 1.
No, no, I think you're really underestimating. The outhouse is probably more like size 2.
Is it really?
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, because a telephone.
A car.
Size 2, it's similar size to a car. I mean,
Yeah.
smaller, but size 1's like a park bench.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Outhouse is definitely more car size. Maybe not as big as a pickup truck, but unless it's like a 2-seater.
Yeah, I was thinking the pickup truck is size 3 because the Oscorp truck is size 4. It gives you some, difference in the sizes, or you can call the pickup truck size 2. You sort of decide that stuff based off what terrain you've got for a board. You're like, okay, well, pickups are gonna be size 3 because you got nothing else that's size 3. Those small wall sections can be size 1, and then all the little tiny pieces can be size 0. And Spider-Man can be flinging little stuff at people all day long.
Why on earth the Hulk would be throwing an outhouse at someone, I don't know.
Because he's sick of your shit.
Yep.
That's right.
Of course.
Oh, Hulk, sick of your shit.
But yeah, and that's something else that people when they're playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, when you play, you got to set out the size of those models of the terrain before you start.
Actually, they're mostly defined. Honestly, we've never had an argument.
No. But you should say, is this size 3 or 4?
Well, yeah. So like when you get
agreeing on the terrain
yes.
Before you start
when
the
you get a
game,
pickup truck and a car, they're pretty similar size. So this is probably definite. Like, oh hey, pickup trucks are size 3 because there's no other size 3 on the board. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You predetermine before you start going and everything and talking about the size.
Do you mean we need to use the gamer social contract to define the tabletop on which we play so everyone knows what terrain is?
That's probably need to crazy talk.
We probably need to do a podcast on that since people are starting to play games again.
We absolutely should write that down. Write it down. Put it on the list of topics because I feel like people do need to feel like they can talk about, how their table is before they start a game instead of, just starting to roll dice and then whining about how, I didn't know this. I didn't realize this.
It's one thing if I play Banyan because we're playing in the house. But if I go into the store and there is a random person, we'll need to do the whole thing on the gamer social contract.
We'll probably need to do one soon because people are starting to get back into games again.
Yeah.
Oh, go. Gonzo, you're in charge of topics. Write that shit down.
Yeah.
You can finally have a topic you're not going to throw on us, and we're going to be like, oh shit, where did this topic come from?
Next week, social contract.
Okay.
All right, There we go. Social contract for next week because people are starting to get games in at the store. And you know what's funny is I'm seeing a lot of people do backyard games. Like, I'm going to invite 10 of my friends that are fully vaccinated. We're going to come over and we're going to go to my house and we're going to play games in the backyard, play games in the house, and play, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
You need to go to the backyard?
Well, they're just some people went out like their back patio. Some people are in the house.
I'm always saying as a joke because Marshall's old place, summer was rough just because there was an air conditioning in the game room. He got an extra like one of those large units to put in there to make it livable. But like in the fall and spring, we could do a 16-man tournament in his house.
Nice.
New basement, actually, Nubu's got plenty of room, but it'd be a little harder. But I've actually played 40K outside. One of our poor kids got sunburned playing 40K. Explain that to the parents.
We finished a Blood Bowl game outside once when the store lost power that we were playing in. We just finished it outside with people holding flashlights over it because, people happened to have flashlights in their cars, apparently.
Well, we had one in Marshall's place, and the power went out. And not only did it have enough lights so that we could, function until it came back on, he had enough lights that we could play Malifaux until the lights came back on. I'm like, that's legitimately impressive, actually. Like, I can see everything. It's a little dark, but I can see everything fine.
Speaking of Malifaux, I did watch some game videos on a game like Malifaux that I thought you probably would like, and that was Moonstone. Um, I showed those models to Kathy and everything.
Man, I swear, if you run with this, I will fucking murder you.
Yeah.
I absolutely
And I will
love the models for
you are so dead. When you wake up, you will be dead again.
I guess it's a sore point.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Waiting for it. Good. Appreciate that. I hate to have to kill you.
I watched some gameplay videos of Moonstone, and I thought they were really. I love the miniatures. The miniatures are amazing. They're doing a Kickstarter.
I'd look at it, but let's be honest. Why do I need a game like Malifaux when I have Malifaux?
Correct. It had a very different. It had a very different theme, like Malifaux does on game rules. You don't use cards and decks and stuff like that, but it did remind me a lot of Malifaux.
Just in the whimsical nature of it.
The way the combat is done and the way dice is done and everything, you kind of bid up, and you bid like, oh, I'm going to use my sword technique of riposte. Well, I'm going to use my sword technique of this, and you compare that off, type thing. It wasn't like rolling dice to beat each other up, but the models are amazing because the models are done by.
Oh, we've seen these models before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably have. It's just not very popular overseas.
Yeah, it's was it Goblin King Games?
Yeah,
you've seen these, Kathy. You've seen these models.
I absolutely have. I see my European friends painting them mostly.
Yeah, it's bigger overseas than it is here. The guy that designed the models did the artwork for Labyrinth movie.
I mean, I never would have noticed that looking at these models.
Oh, I know. Yeah, 100% you can tell. There's definitely a theme.
I really like one of the trolls, and if I could I might get that troll.
Well, they are doing a Kickstarter right now where you can get like a full faction pretty cheap.
I love all those ones with the ones that you showed me, Gonzo, and I don't remember the names.
The fawns.
Off the top of my head. Yeah, the fawns. I mean, I like fawns and satyrs and stuff to begin with. And minotaurs. I already like those kind of monsters. And to see what they did with them here, it blew me away.
Like the guy that uses bunny rabbits as.
Oh God, the bunny rabbits.
Yeah, it was actually I really like their models. Rules are okay. It would be a very casual, fun style game because it's kind of silly, type thing. But it's actually, I really like them. I think they're really neat.
I like the models. Looks interesting. I'm not really in the market for another game. I'd more likely just buy it because I like some of the models and I'd like to put them in my Age of Sigmar army. Should I play Age of Sigmar?
I would like them just to have. I don't know if I would ever play it because it's not a very popular game over here. It's pretty popular overseas.
Mm-hmm.
But the models are legit. The rules are kind of fun.
Oh, Legionnaires! I'm not surprised. The models are very much a
taste,
personal thing. If it's your taste, you like them. If they're not your taste, you don't like them.
Yeah.
It's like John Blanche. Some people love John Blanche. Some people are like,
I mean,
okay.
You got Doug the Pug. It's a guy riding a pug into battle. So, I mean...
What's not to love?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's an aesthetic thing. If you don't like the models. They've got some... The fawns are really cool. The fairies are extremely gorgeous. Type thing. I just saw that, and it reminded me of Malifaux and something that you would like the play style of, because the rules can get kind of crunchy, but it's more like it's a new style of play. Type thing.
Fair enough.
Just reminded me while I was watching it. Don't know alchemy. Don't know that one. Well, I was going to do some painting, but we just got talking and just going off on stuff.
I mean, it happens. Sometimes we have content.
Sometimes we have a lot of good
crazy,
content.
Right?
I'll be right back. I have to pee.
Well, John's going to go pee. Let's talk about what's going to be happening on the stream. Not only, everything else, but don't forget, Kathy will be streaming Tuesday through Thursday painting. What are you working on this week, Kathy?
I am going to be putting color on these 4 models that in the last week I was doing an underpainting, which is basically a value study, blocking in the lights and the darks on these models. And that's just a preparation for putting some translucent colors over them and working with those values that I've already established. And this is a thing I used to do like 5 years ago. And as my painting evolved, I would do a value study a little differently, and it took less time. I decided I would go back to doing it this way because Facebook reminded me, you know, I had a Facebook memory that said, "Oh, look at how you were doing this back then," and now I have echo. How did that happen?
John.
John, your mic is echoing.
No, it's actually technically Gonzo's fault then.
Oh yeah, camera something.
Well, because I just muted my mic and unmuted it, shouldn't change anything.
Yep, it's Gonzo's fault.
What?
Anyways, so I have decided
that
there's a reason why I evolved my painting from this way that I'm doing it to my current way, and it's because this way is a pain in the ass and it takes way too long, and that is why I evolved to a different way, a faster way that gets almost the same results. So this was an experiment. It was kind of a throwback sort of experiment, and yeah, it takes way longer. But it's worth it to remind myself, you know, how I used to do something. There's a reason why I evolved from that to a new way of doing things. Anyways, so this week I'll be putting color on these models, and I am looking forward to that part of it because that's the most fun part.
What models are they?
They are 3 Reaper models and one that is 3D printed from I don't know where. Because because they're not mine, they were sent to me. They're a commission thing that I'm doing.
Kopnick Scotty Potty. That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Scotty. And Misko. Misko's here with hugs.
And apparently, Skype had changed my settings, which is why my camera is all white out. Now it looks all normal because
I knew
Did you punch it?
Skype was just fucking with you.
I can't punch Skype. It's not possible. If it were possible to punch Skype, I would punch Skype.
I'm gonna get you like a pillow that has the word Skype on it, just so you can beat the crap out of it.
Don't do that. I have a knife. This will end quickly.
Disco says, "Hydrate, you muppets."
Cheers.
And then what are you gonna be reading on Friday?
Well, I did not finish A Princess of Mars in the 2 hours last Friday that I was streaming. So I will be continuing that with, I think, chapter 7.
Awesome.
And it was a lot of fun. It's the beginning part where he's in the Arizona desert being chased by Apaches, and all of the horrible racial slurs that he casts at them was terrible.
Yes.
Did you read those out loud? Just curious.
But once he gets to Mars, yeah, I did, and I hated myself for it, quite frankly. Once he gets to Mars, it just moves along better. But that first part is terribly awkward, no matter who you are.
Yep. I was just kind of curious because I mean, there's some of the books like whenever I did my 24-hour stream, I read from a book and there was a scene in there, and I was like, I know what it is because I've read the book already. I'm just coming up to it. I'm like,
see, I didn't read it beforehand, and now there were things I was able to just skip over. You know, like like adjectives and stuff where I could just skip over that and it doesn't detract anything from anything, right?
In a book, yeah.
So I did do that, and I did that with the Conan books too. I had to do that a bunch of times on certain Conan books because I was like, there is no fucking way I'm saying that out loud.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Let's go to our media section because I have like 75 things, and John, you probably have 6, and Cassie probably has a whopping 5.
Well, before we get into that, I will be streaming tomorrow night, 7 to 10 for Monday Night Mech Warrior.
Yep.
Probably featuring the Filthy Casuals of Quick Play. And then Tuesday, I will be doing Striker Life Day 22. I may stream Wednesday, too, for Day 23, because I'm going to miss another day the week after, because I'm going out to dinner. What? And then Thursday will be definitely Day 23 or Day 24 if I streamed Wednesday. Then I'm off Friday, so I'll probably do Friday night, and I might do an earlier one Friday as well. And then, of course, Sunday morning Mech Warrior is always a go-to 9 a.m. to noon. And if I'm feeling wild and crazy, I might do Saturday as well.
Sorry. Beer.
So there you go.
So, John, how many do you have?
2.
2? Kathy, how many do you have?
Well, at least one.
I don't remember what I did last weekend. But I have at least 1.
Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. What you don't have is a life.
Or I do a lot of things while I'm watching TV.
That's true, and I can't do that. No. I cannot have the TV going and get other things done because my vision just goes right to the TV, and I always get distracted and absorbed in what's on. It doesn't matter if I've seen it like 20 times.
There are certain things I've seen enough times that I can watch it while I'm doing something, but it is few and far between.
Yeah. Like if it's Raiders of the Lost Ark and I've seen that like 150 times, I will still get absorbed into it. I cannot look away.
Well, there were 2 of my things that I got absorbed into that I actually was zoned in, so there's that. I'm going to go with just some simple, quick, and easy. I finally finished the Viking series, which was on the History Channel and stuff. I really liked the Viking series. The last season was pretty...
Channel.
Yeah, the History Channel. I really liked, and I actually did look up to see, like, okay, that person really didn't die like that. This is how they actually died type thing. But as an entertainment episode, yes, I liked it. So I won't dwell on that. But since that one came up, I did watch Loki this week. John, did you watch Loki?
That's my number 2.
All right. So let's go. We can do that one together. No spoilers, of course, because people are still watching it.
I don't think you can really spoil the first episode of Loki.
But
it is entire setup. That's all set up.
Yeah, it is all set up. But I will tell you this much. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I liked it a lot.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I don't think it's as good as the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I did like how they got Loki to the point he needs to be at for it to continue. And I liked Owen Wilson. It was good.
I enjoyed it a lot. I liked the characters. I liked the time people. And I like all this stuff. And I like how everything... Loki's going through some crisis.
Yes.
In this. And I really like it. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There are a ton of great memes out of this now. But yeah, it's a good show. I'm looking forward to the next episodes. If it goes to be a limited series like WandaVision, because WandaVision is not getting a season 2, I'm okay with that. Don't have a problem. But it'll probably be a way that they bring Loki back into the MCU.
Okay.
In my opinion.
We'll see. I mean, I think they're setting up for a bigger game with that. But, because originally they were supposed to be in reverse order, I heard. I heard it was supposed to be Loki, then Falcon Winter Soldier, then WandaVision, but they switched it because of COVID, and it was easier to do it that way, apparently.
Well, I know that they did say that they weren't doing another season of WandaVision, so...
Yeah, I mean, that story's done, and that's good. You can have a story that's just done. But yeah, very enjoyed it. I don't want to rate it yet, but enjoyable. You should watch it.
Yeah.
I would I would say, being the occasionally critical person I am, I would think, based on everyone else's reaction, I think it's overrated. But, you know, there's plenty of time to tell.
I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it even more. I think the characters are really good too. Kathy, you want to go with yours?
I've been watching Space 1999, which I think started in 1974. And wow, did they ever have a great vision for what the future would look like about 25 years in the future?
Yeah, let's just store all nuclear waste on the moon.
On the moon.
That can't end
Nothing
poorly.
bad could ever happen with that. They really were obsessed with radiation this and radiation that,
Yep.
and how it would mutate things like you know, creating Godzilla, basically.
Well, let's be honest. It's funny because that was made. If it started in 1974, I mean, something else started in 1974. They don't even know yet. They're still in all the happy-go-lucky era of the atomic age.
More on that later.
But no, I remember I watched the first episode like a year ago, and I mean, its first episode's really good. I really enjoyed it. And you say, of course, it continues that quality through the first. What did you say? You watched 15 episodes?
15 episodes, and is it cheesy? Fuck yes, of course it is. But you know me, I like the cheesy stuff. And I've really enjoyed it. It's like just after, Star Trek original series, which I loved, and there are things about it that are better than Star Trek original series, and then there are things about it that are worse than Star Trek original series. But I mean, obviously you can do that comparison and contrast with any sci-fi show.
Oh yeah.
I liked Martin Landau as the guy in charge of Moonbase Alpha. I love that it's a moon base. I love that the moon, all I could think was Thundar the Barbarian. Like a comet has gone between the Earth and the moon.
Well, no. Hold on. Actually, so here's the funny thing. If you remake Space 1999, you've got to have a comet come between the Earth and the moon and have the moon swing out of orbit. So that way you get two franchises in one.
Right? Honestly, if the moon leaves orbit in the way that it did, you still could result in a Thundar the Barbarian kind of world, because the moon going out of orbit is incredibly disruptive, and you would have all kinds of horrible geological catastrophes.
Yep.
So
it would be no bueno.
Still end up with Thundar, Ariel, and Ukla.
I should rewatch that. Where can you hold on? You continue on with yours.
So what do you give it so far, Kathy?
2 space herpes, but I love the hell out of it. And it's on Amazon Prime right now. Or is it on Amazon with IMDb? Space 1999 Cookie. I'm watching it for the first time ever. I'm 15 episodes in. Still in the first season.
I watched. Is everybody there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh,
are you here?
My connection. Yeah, my connection was going out. Its connection messed up. So I watched something on Netflix recently called Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is based off of a comic about something that happens to the world population, and people are born hybrid, half animal, half human. And of course, we know that that's never going to, go well for the hybrid people. And I binge watched the entire season that day. I watched the entire thing. I loved the shit out of this. I love the atmosphere. I love the acting. I love the characters. This was a great, great TV series. I'm hoping it gets another season because it was done well enough, and the special effects, the makeup, and everything was really good. It had some really good feel good moments, some really good oh shit moments. Um, it is post apocalyptic because a pandemic happens, and then when the pandemic happens, kids are starting to be born hybrid. And so you can't. There is some spoilers about why this is all happening, but it is done really well and really neat. They do flashbacks back and forth between today's and the past.
You said doo doo.
Doo doo. I do all the time. But it is really, really good. I really like it a lot. I'm going to give it 0 space herpes right now. I hope they get a second season. I want more of the show. I can't wait to see more of it. John, what's yours?
Well, as I alluded to, first off, bad news. There's nowhere to stream Thunder the Barbarian. There's some websites, but they seem sketchy. So be very careful. Might be on YouTube. Check your YouTube. They have a lot of stuff there. You can buy it on Amazon, but I'm cheap. Anyways, I watched when I got done Sunday. We weren't on, so I went to a buddy's birthday dinner, and then when I got home, I was looking for something to do, and I started watching Chernobyl on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, me and you talked about this.
Yeah, Chernobyl is it's really good. I'm here to tell you. So, back in the old GW customer service days, between calls, you could do whatever the hell you want as long as emails were caught up and everything, because you had to be there to answer the phone. So I did a lot of research on Chernobyl, found some stuff, a lot of fact checking back and forth. So I know more than the average person on Chernobyl, and this is a good series. Damn. I will warn anyone who is a little squeamish on certain things. They're episode 4. They send people out to shoot pets that are left behind, and it's rough.
It's brutal.
I'm not gonna lie. It's oof. I had to fast forward a couple times to this just a little bit. There's some stuff there, and in a longer series they would have made a bigger point of it. I'm glad they didn't, but just sort of show what has to go in there. I mean, they did a lot of extra stuff in there that almost seemed unnecessary, but it definitely drives home just how terrible the whole thing was. If all the firemen dying and everything wasn't enough. Correct. I'm not going to call that a spoiler. The Chernobyl was in the fucking 80s, for Christ's sakes. But it's very good because they lay it all out. It is a little bit dramatized, of course, but they do a great job throughout it. The end, they explain what happened very well. It's the wrap up you want framed in the show, which is great. And then, of course, they end it with the standard. This is what happened to all the people in real life. Just so you can know what really there. And they even explain that one of the characters they put in is an amalgam of a lot of characters, just to keep it from being, too many characters. It's already got a bunch of characters. But early on, it plays off like a horror movie. It feels like a horror suspense movie, You don't know who's going to die, who's not going to die. I mean, it's really suspenseful, very good. And, I mean, Alexander Skarsgård and the other lead are fucking amazing in it, I'll be honest. And I enjoyed the crap out of it, even if it was a tough watch at points. Easily 0 space herpes for me. They couldn't survive the radiation.
Oh. It was... I'll agree with you. It was pretty much... It was like a horror movie. Because the bad thing is that it was based... it was something that happened. This wasn't like, a post-apocalyptic oh shit thing. This is...
But this really happened. Well, that's why I said, back in the 70s, like, well, they were all in the happy age of atomic, energy, not the, oh shit, this shit can happen. And they also, I mean, they spelled out perfectly how, look, this shouldn't have happened, but everything came together for this exact shit to happen.
Yeah.
It was incompetence piled upon incompetence, piled upon incompetence, piled upon being cheap.
Yep.
And they explain it all in there. I suggest it heartily. I don't blow through anything quickly. I watched the whole thing since Sunday. All 5 episodes, hour plus long since Sunday.
Yeah.
With all the streaming and everything else I do. So, I mean, take that for what you will. And I love that HBO and all these places are doing these miniseries, because this, as a movie, it would be a 4+ hour long movie. You can't do that anymore. It's better as a miniseries on HBO and all. So, Gonzo, Kathy.
I watched. I'll give this one because this one was really good. I watched Bridgerton, Netflix show. Bridgerton is a fictional story set in London in 1813, where socialites and everything are grooming and getting, people ready for, marriage and, proposals and stuff like that. I didn't know if I was going to be into this, but I like the time period and I like the costumes and everything. I really, really liked this series. I like this series a lot. They have and it actually introduced me to a new band, because there's a band called Vitamin String Quartet, or Vitamin String Orchestra, I think is what it is. Or Quartet, I can't remember off the top of my head. But they take pop and rock songs and put it to string instruments. And like some of the songs they played during it, like they did Bad Guy, what else? A couple of other songs in using the string quartet, which was really neat. Of course, it is a work of fiction, but it's based on the reality of things that happen, women getting themselves, ready to be married and the socialite scene and everything. Vitamin String Quartet, there we go.
Yeah.
They're really good, by the way. I've downloaded quite a few of their albums. No spoilers still, because I know someone's still watching it. It's a work of fiction because like the Queen is African American, all this other stuff, but it's a very diverse cast. It is based off a book series. I love the costuming. I love the story. I love everything. I think it is very solid. I can't wait. It's one of my 2 best things I've watched since I've been on summer break. I can't wait for season 2. I love the cast of characters. I love the actors. They've done really good work. I'm giving it a 0 space RPs also, because if it's not your thing, don't worry about it. But if you like kind of like political intrigue based in the London scene with cool clothes and cool music,
what's it called
go
again?
Bridgerton. I think you would
Bridgerton,
like it,
okay.
Kathy. I think you would probably
What?
like that.
Not necessarily like Kathy's thing at all.
Yeah. I think Kathy would like it a lot. It's pretty good. Listening to modern music played with violins and everything is really, really good. I liked it a lot.
Cool. I do want to say, if anyone's got anything HBO Max or Amazon Prime that I should be watching, start throwing them at me. I'm trying to start watching more stuff before I go to bed, rather than just YouTube, because,
Did you ever watch, what was that HBO show, TV series that had 2 seasons? Doom Patrol. Did you ever watch Doom Patrol?
No, I have standards.
Oh, okay. I liked Doom Patrol.
I don't
It was
really
a lot
want
of
to
fun.
watch any of the DC stuff because, I'm a comics fan, so they're just going to piss me off.
Invincible?
I've heard hit or miss on Invincible, Cookie Man. It's one of my buddies who's a huge, super fan of the comic, basically shit all over it and was super pissed.
I liked it, but I don't think it's your cup of tea. It kind of goes off of the boys.
So it's funny, actually. Me and my other were talking about that Wednesday, how that genre pretty much, it's becoming a fucking meme.
Yeah.
And
well,
it's also not my genre because I don't like that style of it. Like, correct. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
I liked Invincible a lot. I thought it was a lot of good fun. I enjoyed it a lot, so I can go with it, even more of it.
The Boys is on my list. I probably won't watch it. Invincible's on my list. I'm a little more likely to watch that. I hear it's not quite as bad as The Boys.
No, it's not.
It's just I'm not a fan of the dark superhero thing. I think honestly, when that genre was created with Watchmen, it peaked, and I think we're just chasing it since.
Not everything has to be grim dark.
No, and it's not. It's not grim. This isn't grim. And this wasn't grim dark. It's very violent. Very, very violent. Very bloody. But it was good.
I don't know. Based on the memes, I think there's a couple points that are grimdark. Just based off the memes.
But not as bad. Not like The Boys. Kathy, what was your other one that you had?
I didn't have another one.
Okay. John, what you got? That it?
My other one was Loki.
Oh, okay. So I guess I got to go with the rest of mine.
For Christ's sakes, I watched 6 hours of stuff in the past week. What do you want from me?
I watched 15 episodes of Space 1999.
Yeah, that's 15 times 40 minutes each. Do that math, sir. It's a lot of minutes.
So I watched Disney Plus. Raya the Last Dragon is now on there for free.
Okay, that's on my list.
I watched it. It was okay.
Oh, that was on my list too.
It's just okay, so I won't spoil any of it. It's just all right. There's
my
not
cousin and
really
her
good.
kids really liked it.
Yeah, it's not that great of a Disney show. No music in it at all.
If you didn't like it, then I should be. I definitely need to watch it.
It's not that I didn't like it. It just didn't. It just wasn't a great Disney show.
I am not a Disney person.
Man,
I don't.
Kathy, that was brutal. Oh my God. Bam! Kathy with the throat punch. Jesus.
It was just all right. It was more about a 2.5 space herpes type thing. It didn't flow right. It didn't feel right. It was just a meh. Better than a throat punch, yeah. But I just don't think it was that great.
Oh, that's fair. I mean,
Sorry.
everything's not for everyone. That's why we've got so many.
That is so true. It is on my list, especially since my cousin said that she and her kids really liked it, and so that just reinforced that I want to watch it. Plus, there's a dragon in it.
Yeah, my one CSP who's he said he watched it with his daughters and he very much enjoyed it. Gave it good marks, so that's cool.
Yeah, to me it was just a meh. It was definitely not it didn't feel like a Disney film. It was just there. I mean, I was just like, okay. I could have lived without watching it. So I give it like my 2.5 space herpes type thing.
Trying to think if I watched anything else. I didn't, though.
I did play 2 games. I finished Titanfall 2 finally. Dogs going nuts in the hallway wrestling. And I enjoyed it. For anybody that, I think it was really, really fun. I can see why people are goo goo gaga over it. I can't give it really a rating because there's a big fan base behind it, and I think it's just okay. It was just all right. It was just a decent shooter with some cool mechanics. But I did pick up the new Ratchet and Clank that came out Friday. And I got the PS5 version, and oh my God, is this game gorgeous. You can definitely not see the change from cutscene to gameplay. It is completely so smooth, and the graphics are so good. There are people that are taking, pictures of the game because you have the photo booth type thing with it, and you can really get some really good shots. And you're getting individual hairs on these models and such. It is an unbelievably gorgeous, gorgeous game. Definitely pushes the PS5 hardware because while I'm playing the game, my battery backup is screaming at me because it's pulling too much juice from it. I actually had to unplug one of the things from my battery backup and put it to something else because I have my TV, my PS5 and my receiver on a battery backup, and the PS5, anytime I was playing it, would suck so much juice out of that battery backup being so graphically intense. It freaked me out. I'm going to have to get another different battery backup that can handle it.
Can't just plug it into a regular outlet while you're playing?
Well, I can. I just put it to the battery backup in case power goes out, and it's a surge protector in one. So, but yeah, that's what I had to do. But it was the whole thing. I will say, Ratchet and Clank, if you haven't played those games or don't know about them, they're good, fun, and whimsical. Don't take the game seriously type stuff. I mean, the jokes are cheesy and corny. The name of the weapons are cheesy and corny. Everything's meant to be tongue-in-cheek and just have a good, fun game. I really like it. I beat it last night. Got through all the story mode and almost 100%ed it the whole way through. My only complaint, I will have to say, is that games are getting pretty expensive now. It's now $70 for a PS5 Xbox X game now. They jacked him up. Yeah, I see John's face. Yeah, it's.
Son, you just played yourself.
Yeah.
I actually regret not having a PlayStation because I love Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah.
I no longer regret not having a PlayStation. So good job. You maybe remember that I regret it because my cousin, or second cousin? Sure, second cousin's playing it. And now I no longer regret. I'm fine now. Because the last game I bought, like, I can buy MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries for significantly under $70 on a superior platform. It's called the PC.
Yeah. It's kind of for a $70 game, I need a lot more than what I got. Don't get me wrong. The game was amazing. It was a ton of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I had a blast. I laughed at all the stupid jokes. I had a good time. I still got some stuff I need to do with the game, so I'm still playing it. But to me, console games being $70 is kind of a sore point with me.
There's a word for that. That word is called bullshit.
Yeah, it is. So I'm just kind of on that. I don't fault the game company because they made an amazing game. They think it is great. I can't wait to see any of the newer stuff coming out. Some of the new games that are coming out for the PlayStation. But $70 for a game is kind of grinding on me.
Well, so they do have a chance to redeem themselves because since it's the PlayStation 5, it's internet capable and all that, they could roll out free add-ons to the game and make that, make it better and more worth it. But I don't think they will because they're Sony and they like gouging people for money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, $70 is way too much. Elijah says, unfortunately, if you need a new PC, prepare to bend over. That's not true. The only part of the PC that's stupidly expensive right now is the GPU. And that'll go down as this whole thing stabilizes, between cryptocurrency, which will eventually either get regulated or go away because it's not actually real money. And eventually someone's going to take an interest in making sure that either they get a piece of that money and it'll fall down, or that since it's not actually something that can be traded, it goes bye-byes. Yeah. That's my prediction on that because the government loves to fuck around in things. And they're already talking about it after the guys who made a cryptocurrency and then just said, haha, we took your money, you can't do anything about it, you got nothing, ha ha ha, and ran. So, we'll see. But also, the good thing to also note is that, Legionnaires, if this continues, the industry that makes graphics processing units is not stupid. If they see a continual need for them, they will just up their production up. The price will come down because they're producing more. Just right now, it's pure capitalistic supply and demand. The supply is low, the demand is high.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a couple extra ones around here. Banyan's got an extra one I could take. I just need to find a good power supply for this and make sure it works. And honestly, there's still a lot of companies that are making these computers like the one I have, where they have not necessarily set graphic processing unit, but one that comes with it that may be missing some features that someone who wants, top tier high end wants, and I don't care about. I ain't playing top tier games. Actually, that's true. I played Borderlands 3 when it came out. That was kind of not really top tier, though. It was well within graphics reality. So, but we'll see about all that when that happens.
Guys, that is our show for today. We appreciate everybody coming out. Don't forget to check out Kathy Tuesday through Thursday as she paints models. Friday, she does her Pulp Fiction Friday. And don't forget to check out John on Monday, definitely for his Mech Warrior. And possibly Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night.
Definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Possibly Wednesday night, possibly Friday during the day, and possibly Saturday.
Possibly all week.
Possibly all week long. That's what I do.
Hey, thanks Day for following. We appreciate it. Guys, we're going to send you the Pyro Club. Stick around. Make sure you say a good hi to them. Make sure you say hi. Give them a follow. All that good stuff. Guys, please take care of yourself. Please, please, please wear your mask. Keep safe still. We want to see you later when we can get together and start playing games again. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Here comes Raid. Raid, go over and say hi to him.
Raid!
I always think that every time.
That's good That's good marketing, yo.
Yeah, because that commercial hasn't been around for